What's going on, everyone? So, per reports, this comes from Mark Stein in the Stein line. The Dallas Mavericks are looking to trade Olivier-Maxence Prosper. Now, he is somebody that I would implore the Lakers to go and acquire. 23 years old, just turned 23 in July. Talk about a guy 6'7", 6'8" in size, had a max vert of 40.5 inches, right? So, again, athleticism, youth, defensive versatility, size, length, you name it. He's a guy that has a little bit of all of that, right? Gives us kind of another Adu Thero type of player that I think could really make some sense for this Lakers team. His contract also lines up perfectly to the 2027 where the Lakers are trying to preserve cap space. Has this year on a club option, little over $3 million, let's call it $4 million just to be safe. And then next year at around $6 million. And then would be a restricted free agent. So the Lakers would still have the ability to sign him and keep him long-term. Guy that you could keep under the umbrella kind of long-term if you were a team like the Lakers. Again, he is the exact type of prototype that the Lakers need. Somebody that has good size, slot in 2 through 4 for you, 6'7". He's got a 7'1" wingspan, so he's got the size, the length, and the athleticism to be that lob threat that can, run the floor. Again, be a guy that can shoot the basketball, do a little bit of everything out there. Obviously, he's far from a finished product. He's 23 years old. You might ask, why, if he's so good, why would Dallas trade him? Because he's like the 15th guy on their team, right? Like, one of the big things about Dallas is their depth. They are just flushed with players, and especially now with Cooper Flagg likely playing, the 3 spot a good majority of the time. PJ Washington, there's talks about them potentially giving him a new extension, right? So you just look at where is he going to slot in on a team like Dallas? So if they can get somebody that maybe makes a little more sense, or maybe clear some salary or whatever, it gives them an option in order to kind of get off of him for a guy that's probably not going to play, give him an opportunity to go elsewhere. Somebody like the Lakers, I do think he's a guy that the Lakers really need because they don't have a bunch of guys like him. They don't have a bunch of guys that can be kind of those 3-and-D wings that can slot in multiple positions, play multiple positions, defend, do all those things. His three-point shooting definitely needs improvement. He's a career 26% three-point shooter, but you got to keep in mind, he's played limited minutes. He's only averaging for his career 10 minutes per game. And he's only averaging 3 field goal attempts per game, including 1 3 a game. So unless he goes 100% a game, your 3-point percentage is going to be low. So we don't really have a good sample size to know whether he's a good or a poor 3-point shooter. We just know, in the limited times, he'll get one. And if he doesn't make all of them, right? He's shooting poor. He's shooting a poor percentage. What does he look like on 4 or 5 attempts a game? Now, again, he's not a guy that I'm looking to come in today and it's there's our starting 3. We have no issues now. Who need Andrew Wiggins? Who? No, I look at him more as just another athletic, versatile young piece that you can slot in this season that can play limited minutes in a limited role for you. Give him 10 minutes a night. Go get you, knock down the occasional 3, give you athleticism, rebound, defend, do a little bit of everything out there on the basketball court for you. Hustle, do the dirty work, right? Luka, play off of Luka. But to me, it's more with him, another long-term piece. Start to shape out and carve out the type of players and archetypes and pieces that you want long-term. Go get a Prosper. Go get, you got an Adu Thero. You got an Arthur Kaluma. You got these guys now. You only need 1 or 2 of them to hit. But if you can kind of cycle through and get a couple, it gives you more opportunities for upside potential guys. And then again, there could be a version at some point where you're playing Prosper at the 2, Thero at the 3, Kaluma at the 4 with Ayton and Luka. And you just got size, length, athleticism, defensive, that's the type of team you need slotted alongside Luka Doncic, right? Have 3 guys that are just athletic, versatile, sizable, can knock down the 3 ball, right? Can just mask the lack of Luka defense, right? Be able to fight through, especially on a team where JJ Redick wants to switch everything, right? Switch everything. Well, it's hard to do that when you have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. Part of the switch everything is because you have those guys, right? Because they're not quick enough and athletic enough to fight through the screens and go over stuff, but also they need to be able to recover, right? So like they're you don't have the athleticism to cover and fight through the screens and do all those things, right? Where if you had a Prosper and an Adu Thero and an Arthur Kaluma and those kind of guys to where they do have the size, the length, and athleticism to fight through the screens, to switch or stay on guys, stay honest on guys, be able to navigate those screens, right? Now you have that athleticism, you have that size, you have the where you can trap and double team, but then get back and recover. Like you see that a lot of times with OKC. Lakers are very limited in their defensive actions right now. It's why JJ's just kind of switching everything. But it's hard when you have Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and Rui Hachimura as your kind of three perimeter guys that you're looking to defend. Even when you are switching everything, it's like if one guy is just a beat too slow, they're moving past you, swinging the basketball. But again, if you have that athleticism, if you have that ability to recover and close out and do that, right? You see OKC. Right, they'll go and they'll double team and trap the ball handler kick it out, and everyone's back, right? Because they have the speed and athleticism and whatnot, right? And it's a bunch of 6'3" guys. Imagine the Lakers could do that with a bunch of 6'7" to 6'9" guys. They have the size and athleticism to where you could trap, whatever, at SGA is bringing the ball up the court, you can throw a Prosper and a Jared Vanderbilt on him and have that size and that length, trap him at the half court line, and then he's getting the ball in his hands, and both guys are athletic enough to get back and have the speed to get back to where you're not missing a beat. Help defense come up, right? Now you can run different defensive looks. You can run different defensive sequences, right? Prosper is a guy that I look at more as a long-term piece, a guy that, you're spending this year and next year kind of getting him familiar, getting him assimilated, getting him to the type of player of where you want him to be. So then, getting to that next contract where it's like, okay, now we got Adu Thero ready, we got Prosper ready, DeAndre Ayton is probably sticking around at that point. If you make a Giannis trade or whatever, again, Prosper gives you another young player that you can add to the package, right? So that helps where it's like, hey, well, now you get Austin Reeves, 3 firsts, Prosper, a dude there. Like, here's a bunch of young guys and picks. Now your package is just more comparable for a Jokic, for a Giannis, right? That is, if I'm the Lakers, it kind of kills two birds with one stone. If the Lakers are able to go get that next superstar, you're going to need young players and picks, right? Well, you could have that. If you're going to get if you don't end up landing that superstar, you're going to need guys that can be fixtures long-term that are going to probably be cheap. Even his next contract is probably going to be pretty cheap in comparison, right? Because he's a guy that, hasn't really got much opportunity in Dallas because of their depth. And then coming to Lakers, I don't know. I don't think he's going to play 35 minutes a night this year and maybe next year. But point is he's a guy that if he does have that emergence, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to figure out, right? If he does become that kind of guy for us and he, say he comes to Lakers with Luka, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, that all can just get him the quality of looks necessary to up his 3-point percentage. If he solves that problem, that's a good problem for the Lakers to have to figure out. But to me, I look at it as okay, now the Lakers have two athletic, versatile, long wings that both are very similar comps that are the exact type of players that the Lakers need alongside Luka Doncic. Having a guy in Prosper, you can slot in 2 through 4 for you. Having a guy in Adu Thero, slot in 2 through 4 for you that can defend 1 through 5 because they both have over 7-foot wingspans. Both guys have 40+ inch verticals, right? Those are the differences. Prosper is a guy that has the athleticism, has the foot speed, can get up. He's got the bunnies to get up there and block shots and be a help defender and do all those things. Same thing with an Adu Thero. Now all of a sudden you have those kind of 3-and-D wings that you're looking for, right? Now in a perfect world, they both get to become 40% 3-point shooters, but even if they're not, say they're 36, 37% from 3-point range, that's fine, right? What they bring is the defense, the athleticism, the ability to do the dirty work, make the hustle plays, right? You slotting alongside Luka, you can't have enough athleticism, defense, and ideally shooting, right? It's what you want alongside Luka Doncic. Prosper, Adu Thero, Bronny James, these guys are very athletic, are projected to be kind of these 3-and-D style guards, forwards, Like, those are the kind of guys you want slotted in. If Ayton works out long term, you now have your center and you have your point guard duo locked in for the next 8 years. Who are those other pieces around them? Right? Again, maybe it is. Even if it's just like Prosper as like another athletic wing off the bench that's helping you in 15, 20 minutes of action as like your seventh guy off the bench. Like, again, you need those guys. You need that athleticism. Dude Thero comes and gets a spell, sits a spell, boom. Now Prosper comes in. He's stepping up and he's giving you the same production. Right? Like, that's the idea for the long-term goal and potential. He's young, he's athletic, he's versatile. Again, he just turned 23. So he's a kid. I mean, he's the same age as Arthur Kaluma, who we have, working out for us and is about to go into training camp with us to see if he can make a role, which I still would love Arthur Kaluma. Because again, now if Arthur Kaluma works out, all of a sudden you got Prosper, you got Kaluma, you got a Dude Thero, you got Bronny James. Now all of a sudden you have the athleticism, the size, like long-term answers, guys that can play those roles for you. So that's ideal in my opinion. But let's get into some of the stats here. Break it down. Like I said, it's very limited, so it's hard to really kind of gauge. 2 seasons in the league. Last year, 52 games played, 4 games started. He has started a total of 5 games for his career out of 92. 11.2 minutes per game on average in the 52 games. Now, the games played isn't like injury. It's just, he just doesn't have a spot, right? Like, he's just very limited in that. So it's not like, so don't be like, oh, but he's only playing, but it's not because, it's because of the role it are. He's kind of just filling in spots, right? But again, 11.2 minutes per game, 3.3 field goal attempts per game, 40.2% from the floor. From 3-point range on 1 attempt, he shot 23.5%. And I know, again, that's abysmal. It's not great. Previous year on 1 attempt, he shot 29%. Again, not great. But it doesn't really have the sample size to properly gauge whether he could shoot the 3 ball or not. Right? We don't know. Like, is he a guy is he just another Jared Vanderbilt? Athletic, versatile defensive piece, which I still don't hate. Like, you know what Lakers could use more of right now? More Jared Vanderbilt. Like, it's not like, oh no, we just got another Jared Vanderbilt. Like, yes, ideally we'd like guys to be able to shoot. We could use kind of more 2-way rather than just 1-way guys, but he's young enough to where there is the upside and potential. Work on his game, work on his craft. You want to play a role for this team, right? You want to be a part of this team long term. That's what we're going to need you to do type thing. So, again, it's hard to judge somebody when they basically for their career shot, 53s, if that. I mean, you got to figure if he's averaging 1 attempt per game and he's played 92 games. So that means he is at most taken 92 threes. If he's averaging 1 a game in 92 games, so at most he's taken 92 threes. Right? Like, he hasn't even taken 100 for us done. And I know that's like, 8 more. But again, like, he's not taking the volume to really properly judge if he's going to be good or not. But moving on, 2-point range, 2.4 attempts, shot 47.2%, which isn't bad at all. On 2.4 attempts, EFG of 43.7%. Free throw shooting, 64.5% on 1.5 attempts. Previous year, he was 68.3% on 1 attempts. Again, doesn't really have the volume or sample size, but need to be better than 65% from the free throw line. Rebounding, 2.4 rebounds. Excellent rebounding for only 10 minutes on average, giving you 2.5 rebounds. An assist, half a steal, half a block, and 4 points per game. So, diving into his per 36. Per 36 doesn't tell you everything, but it kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, if he was to play a more prominent role, what could that look like? Well, last year, he would have been 12.4 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and half a block per game. Now, previous year even would have been 13 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, a steal, and half a block. So the steals went up, blocks were the same. He actually rebounded more. So for his career, which is only 2 seasons, his per 36 is basically 13 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and then half a block. So again, if he could be anything close to that for his career, let's say at his peak, just giving you the defense, giving you, 1.5 steals a game, giving you half a block a game, knocking down the 3 ball, hopefully the 3 ball consistency is better, giving you, 12 points, grabbing, I don't know, about 8 rebounds, that'd be amazing. But, say he's a 12 and 5 guy, right? Dishing out 1.5 assists, getting you 1.5 steals and half a block a game. It's perfect. It's exactly what this Lakers team needs. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.